Hey guys, it's Annie and what's up? I've been wanting to do a spooky story themed video and I tried to do it yesterday, but it was crap, so I'm restarting it today. So I'm going to be talking about the most haunted places in America and giving you a little background on what's haunted. So yeah, the first story is about a place called Waverly Hills Sanatorium. It's in Louisville, Kentucky. I watch a lot of ghost hunting shows, so they've talked about this story before, so I kind of know a little bit about it. So the auditorium was basically a tuberculosis hospital where like thousands of people lived, and it is one of the most talked about haunted places in America because of the death of tuberculosis. It's the most haunted place in this sanatorium is the body chute, or either the death tunnel, which a rail car, like they put all the dead bodies in the rail cars and like wheel them from the top of the hill to the bottom so that the other patients wouldn't see. Sorry, I'm a little sick. It's rumored that 63,000 patients died at that hospital. And in 1928, a woman named Mary was found hanging from the doorway in room 502. So that's a very haunted site as well. First, people thought that she committed suicide, but they later found out she was impregnated by a married doctor. Oh, so supposedly the doctor that she was sleeping with, she got pregnant by, found out that she was pregnant, and they were kind of like, you know, we don't want the baby, we can't have this baby, because she was obviously a patient there. He was a doctor, so he was like, you know what, let's get an abortion, let's do an abortion. And she ended up dying during the surgery, so he was like, I'm not taking the fall for this murder, I'm not, so we're just gonna stage it as suicide. So that's what happened. And you can also visit this place. It's like a I'm not gonna say it's like a tourism type place, but you can visit it if you want to, but you have to have observations. And supposedly people that go to the sanatorium, they report hearing voices, having cold chills. And I want to visit an actually haunted place. Maybe not this place, but I want to visit somewhere. And there's another place. It's called the Bachelors Grove Cemetery, which is in this cemetery is on the outskirts of Chicago, and it's supposedly the most haunted cemetery in the world. So that's already sending me some red flags. I mean, I don't know about you, but that's sending me tons of red flags. So the burial site was originally where a lot of immigrant communities were buried at 1844. And it's also rumored that Al Capone and other gangsters around that, you know, era would dump dead bodies into the lake that was the pond that was right next to the cemetery. So, you know, their spirits just kind of travel to the cemetery and the pond. So, you know, this sending me tons of red flags. And a lot of sadists would go to that area to, you know, use black magic and do different rituals and all that kind of stuff. And it's crazy. I mean, the most talked about person on that area is called the White Lady, and it's supposed that she appears there during a full moon. There's actually been a photograph image of this White Lady, which is, you know, of course, a woman most likely in a white dress. Supposedly someone took the picture of the White Lady in 1991. Numerous ghost hunters have like searched the cemetery, and they reported seeing numerous like orbs. Like you take pictures and you see orbs, different color orbs and stuff. That's kind of significant with paranormal activity. And if you're trespassing there, you get fined $100. So word of the wise, if you're trying to go to Chicago, on the outskirts of Chicago, trying to visit the cemetery, and you're trespassing, you got to pay some moolah. Okay, next is this place in Philadelphia. It's the Eastern State Penitentiary. I don't know, just something about penitentiaries and asylums and stuff just kind of sparks my interest because of the horror, like such horrible conditions that happen there. And it's just like I just want to do some more research and find out what happened. And it's just like it was so sad. It's so sad how people in these asylums and penitentiaries and sanatoriums and, you know, stuff like that were treated, and it's just horrible. I mean, and, you know, so this Eastern State Penitentiary was opened in 1929, which, you know, was fairly long ago, obviously, and it was the first confinement prison, especially in Philadelphia. But you know, most of the time the prisoners were alone in this penitentiary, and they will always be wearing hoods, so you can't really, so that they wouldn't be able to see the other inmates, and they'll always be in their cells, no human interaction. So it's said that a lot of them just went crazy because of the confinement, you know what I'm saying? And of course this penitentiary was also had a lot of overcrowding. That's when I researched penitentiary and stuff like that, I always find out that there was tons of overcrowding, and it's just, I mean, you know, I don't know. Supposedly the most noble inmate was Al Scarface Capone. So he did his sentence from 1929 to 1930, which is not, you know, that's 1 year. That's not nothing. Supposedly prison time in this penitentiary for Al Capone was, you know, fairly, you know, easy because he wasn't as secluded as the other inmates. He had like rugs and radios and other fine things in his room that other people didn't have because of his status, as secluded as all the other inmates in the penitentiary. So, you know, as you know, penitentiaries, they had a lot of, I'm sure it's a prison thing, so there was, I'm sure, a lot of unrecorded deaths there, and riots and fights and tons of bloodshed. So it's not really a surprising thing when you hear of it being haunted. So the penitentiary was abandoned in 1971. People that have like explored this penitentiary just free will and investigating it, as in ghost hunting and stuff like that, they hear noises, they see orbs, they hear footsteps and everything, and it's just crazy because I actually watched an episode of the Penitentiary on Ghost Hunters, which is my favorite show, non-spons, but you know, it's my favorite show, and they go to different places to try and prove it's haunted, and most of them are. I think it's kind of cool. This is like a bonus little fact. During the Halloween season, it becomes a haunted house type tour, and I mean, I think that's very interesting. But I mean, you won't see Annie Barkley in there. You won't be seeing me trying to visit, because that's not my lifestyle. But you can schedule a tour online if you live in Philadelphia. But good luck to you on that, babe. Next is the Lemp Mansion. I never really heard this one before, so it was really interesting to see it online and then do some research on it. In 1938, this man named Adam arrived in St. Louis from Germany, and it's like upon moving into the mansion, his family was like automatically plagued with tragic events. In 1904, John's son committed suicide. John's son killed himself after the death of his favorite son 3 years earlier. 3 of the Williams children total committed suicide. Williams' daughter Elsa killed herself in 1920, and her brother Williams Jr. shot himself years later when the business went under, and brother Charlie shot himself in the basement in 1949. So basically this whole family typically killed themselves, you know, just in different, you know, years, but basically that's what happened. Basically all their spirits are kind of in that house, in that mansion. So I can definitely understand why it's haunted. In 1970, the only remaining son passed away from natural causes, and requested for the caretaker to destroy all their personal heirlooms. And it turns out after he died, the estate was sold and turned into a boarding house. People will report hearing like strange voices in the house, like eerie voices and sounds and footsteps, and just having an overwhelming bad feeling when walking in the mansion, which is very understandable because like there's so much tragedy that went into that that happened inside of the mansion. So I understand people not really wanting to go in it, because I sure won't want to. But I mean, I'm a very adventurous person. You ask me, hey, you want to go check out this place, you know, I'm like, I will most likely say yes, because I always wanted to go ghost hunting. But you know, so next is the Myrtles Plantation, which was built in 1796 by David Bradford. Supposedly only 10 murders happened on this property, but I'm sure there were a few that were unaccounted for. A slave that stayed on the property, her name was Chloe. Supposedly her master cut off her ears because she was eavesdropping. Supposedly Chloe got revenge by baking her master and his family a poisonous cake. I guess he didn't really eat the cake, or maybe it didn't take effect, but it ended up killing 2 of his daughters instead of him. And of course Chloe was, you know, charged with the crime, and she got hanged and was killed on the property. And the weird thing is, Chloe wasn't hanged by police or anything. She was hung by the other servants that stayed in the house. And it's said that Chloe and the girls that she killed with the poisonous cake still haunt that very land. people, when they go visit the house and just, you know, just visiting and touring, they supposedly see Chloe wearing a turban that covered her cut off ear. So, you know, it's crazy how people, when they die tragically, they kind of stay on that certain land, because I don't know, it's just, I mean, some people, I understand you don't believe in that type of stuff, which is fine. So if you actually look up some research on this plantation, you don't really find much about Chloe. It's supposedly that she never even existed. So who is this mysterious woman with a turban covering her ear? Who is this mysterious woman if it's not Chloe? So I mean, a lot of people believe it's Chloe, maybe it's another slave, I don't know, but there's no research actually clarifying that there was a woman named Chloe on the premises. I never really understood why all these haunted places end up turning into bed and breakfasts and stuff, but you can actually visit this place and stay there and dine and, you know, like rent a room and then eat and all that crap. And if you're brave enough, you can do it. But it costs $150 to at least $230 a night. Like, that's too much money for me. I can't do that. Maybe one day I could, but not right now, because I have no money. I don't understand why these people in this dorm room want to slam doors at 1:30, 1:41 in the morning. But that's okay, whatever. Just make sure if you ever visit any of these places or visit any kind of haunted place in America or any other place in the world, please be safe. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, because it was very interesting to make. Thank you guys for subscribing to my channel. Make sure to like this video, because I try to make videos a lot for you guys, because I hate leaving you guys hanging, because I love you. But I want to say thank you guys for the people that have subscribed to my channel recently. It's really cool to see that subscription number getting higher. And I want to say thank you guys, and I really appreciate it, and I do love you guys. And I do try to make really good content for you guys, even though I'm not really like the greatest editor, because I don't really know the basics of it. But I do like making videos, and I'm so glad people are watching. And, you know, make sure to like this video. And if you want to comment down below, you can comment me some video suggestions for whatever kind of videos you guys want to see next. I'm trying to stick to a whole scary theme until Halloween is over. And I love you guys, and I'll see you guys later. Bye. I'm so sleepy. Oh.